How do I find the perimeter and area? Of a parallelogram? And triangle. How do I find the perimeter and area of a parallelogram and a triangle? All right, perimeter for both shapes. Perimeter is equal to the sum of the side lengths. Period. That's it. Add up the sides, that gives you the perimeter. Your two area formulas. Parallelogram. That area is equal to base times height. Area of a triangle is equal to 0.5 times the base times the height. Or you can do base times height and you can divide it by 2. They're both the same. One of the most important things about using these formulas or finding the area of a parallelogram and a triangle is determining what the base and the height are. Okay, the base and the height. Must be perpendicular to each other. The base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other. All right, in your assignment today, the most difficult part is going to be, in most of these cases, is determining the height. So in this shape right here, remember that in a parallelogram, that opposite sides are parallel to each other. Okay, the top's parallel to the bottom, and the left side's parallel to the right side. They're also congruent. So if this bottom is, maybe it's 17, and you're given this piece, or this dashed line, all right, in this picture, this red dashed line would represent your height, wouldn't it? It's a segment, or it's a length that's perpendicular to the base. If you use the 17 as your base, the bottom 17, the top 17. If this red segment is perpendicular to the top, it's perpendicular to the bottom because they're parallel to each other, okay? So what kind of triangle do they set up here? It's a right triangle, and you need one of the sides for the height. So you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem in this case. All right, so you're going to get h squared plus 5 squared equals 12 squared. Once you solve for h, then the area is going to be equal to 17 times whatever h equals, isn't it? Okay? Now, maybe slow down on your writing for a second and just watch, because I'm not giving you any information that we haven't done all year. But some of you guys, you use so much mental energy copying down everything on the wall that you don't hear anything that I'm saying. All right? Everybody in here knows how to use the Pythagorean theorem, right? Done it hundreds of times this year. There's nothing to really write down in this case. All right? You just have to see the problem here. Here's the base. Here's the height. They've set up a right triangle for you so that you can do the Pythagorean theorem. The other type of problem you're going to see today will look something like this. And again, just watch, because it's more review. Now, maybe they don't give you this 5 up here, but they tell you that this angle is 30 degrees. Okay? Now, this is still a right triangle over here, isn't it? And in this right triangle, they give you an angle measure, they give you the hypotenuse, and you need the adjacent side, don't you? So do you remember SOHCAHTOA? Maybe write this down if you haven't memorized it. Now, in relation to this 30-degree angle, you've got the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. So which ratio do you use? Cosine. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. Very good. All right? And the acronym means that cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine 30 equals the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Remember? You guys remember this? Yeah. All right. Who remembers how to solve for h now? Right. Multiply each side by 12. And remember, you got to enter the 30 in the calculator first. Anybody get 10.39? All right. All right, so there's your height. So now, your area is equal to base times height. 17 is your base, and 10.39 is your height. So, sine, cosine, tangent you may have to use to find a height. Pythagorean theorem you may have to use to find a height. The other type of problems, or there's a couple of these on there, you write this down or draw this here, this triangle. Yeah, one of them was a Pythagorean theorem problem to find the height.
I'm just making sure because I got the feeling.
Yeah. Okay, you got a couple problems where you're going to be given the area. Let's say the area equals 140. And you're going to be asked to find x, or solve for x. What does x represent in this picture? The height. Good. What would the base of this triangle be equal to?
13.
Very good. This piece right here would be 13. Okay. The red dashed lines are just to confuse your eyes. So the formula is area equals base times height divided by 2. So take the given information and plug it into the formula. The area is 140. So 140 equals the base, which is 13, times the height, which you're trying to find, or x, divided by 2. So 140 equals 13h over 2. Multiply both sides by 2. And these will cancel. So 280 equals 13h. And then divide each side by 13. $21.54. So there's your height. All right, if you knew that this is 21.54, now how could you find the perimeter? Pythagorean theorem, very good. So it'd be 13 squared plus 21.54 squared equals c squared, right? You can find the hypotenuse and then add the three sides together. Okay? The formulas are super simple. Where they're making it difficult is they're just making you use the Pythagorean theorem or sine, cosine, tangent to find a height or to find the dimension that you need to find the area of the perimeter. Clear? Questions? All right, your assignment for today is page 783. (8 through 15). And then on the next page, 17 through 22. (17 through 23).